Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong and welcome to the back office teardown lab. So you can see in front of you a lamp, and the lamp isn't a very interesting thing to do a video about. However, the lamp contains a switch, and like most things I discover in my house that are broken, I was actually clearing out a room and just discovered this because I was going to use the lamp. I was just about to plug it in, and I was kind of like even touching this part, to be honest with you, and look. That's the sort of hijinks that my familia like to do, leave things kind of broken. And I thought it wouldn't be nice to try to fix it. So I had a rummage around me box of tricks and I had that. I know, no, it's not quite the right colour, but you can't put aesthetics over safety, can you really? Well, you might. I'm not going to. And also, look, that's actually quite a nice, cute little rocker switch in there, and it's nicely how they've done it. So they've actually kept one the neutral straight through, and they've just interrupted the live, which is quite novel. I've not really seen that before, but then I've not really looked. So I'm going to pop this out. So that's that nice little toggle switch. Might be good for a non-mains project, seeing as it doesn't have an enclosure anymore. I'm going to bin that part. So let's see what this switch is like. I don't remember buying it. I don't remember if it's a high quality or a low quality or what, but it's a switch nonetheless, and it should do the trick. Pop that off. Pop that a little bitty off. So, so let's look at its construction. So you can see it's got a switched portion, which are these two, and some unswitched contacts. So this is the equivalent of this blue wire. So actually, if it all kind of fits, I could probably remove that, yeah, and just keep it as is. But let's see if it's even possible to do that, because we don't have too much left on these. Now, I'm going to try. There was some automatic wire strippers actually on Amazon recently that looked like quite a good price, but didn't treat myself, and as such I'm regretting that now. That would have been cute, but got a little bit off there. Yeah, I mean, we could probably make this work. It's a bit close. You can see it's a bit close to the edge of this outer insulation. I'm not too pleased with that, so I'm just going to try to trim it back a bit by cutting towards myself. So yeah, be careful if you're having a go at that. Cutting towards yourself is generally not recommended. Of course, if you're doing this, make sure it's not plugged in.
Daddy.
Yes?
I'm making a video.
Yeah, Daddy's making a video. He's making a safety video.
Why?
Because of this light. Do you know how it broke?
How?
I don't know. I thought you might be able to enlighten me.
How did it broke?
It broke. I don't know. Someone broke it.
It's not me.
It's not you. Okay.
Then it's Via.
Go on then. Run along.
Where's Mummy?
I don't know. You'll have to go find her.
I think she's at the neighbours. That's what Via told me.
Right. So look, ironically, it's actually not quite long enough. Let's get a bit of split. So these switches come in all sorts of varieties and cheapnesses. So you can have no end of cheap ones, and I don't think this would have probably been more than 50p. I probably actually just added it to an order. Sometimes when I'm ordering something from CPC, I'll just add an extra bit, like switch. The one I really like though are those mains powered, mains switched plugs. So it's like a mains plug with a lovely big old switch on it. They're really nice. I've used up a lot of those. So that looks about right. It's a bit long. It's a bit on the longish side now. I've left it not quite ideal, but let's see if we can fold it all in. Oh, look, that's kind of bad. Let's pretend it was done right and see how that would fit if you did it just right. Now, I wouldn't recommend you do what I'm doing now, which is kind of folding in all the wires. But look, it fits. It fits perfectly. Those wires aren't forced in any which way that works. So we have got an on or off. I don't know which way round that will go. So no hint at all which was the on and which is the off. Although there is a little wire pusher downer. The wire pusher downer says to go on this way. Yeah. And let's see if I can get it. Yep, it'll shut. Pop that on. This is where you sort of force the cheap plastic and it breaks and you sort of wish you did a proper job. And now the moment of truth. The momente of truth. This wire's twisted, that's why it doesn't want to shut. Oh, that is such a cheap and nasty switch. Anyway, fine. A cheap and nasty switch better than a broken switch. On. Off. On, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on. I think. Oh, did that just go off? Oh dear. Oh dear. Someone needs to do a better job. Commencing operation, better job. Right, so we've done it craply and now we're going to do it goodly. First things first, we're going to just trim these ends and do a measurement, and I'm going to use this little bus bar thing. I'm going to pop that back in with our twazzers so that we can get a decent measurement of the old length. And while we're at it, for Kynar wire only, oops, this is why it doesn't strip Kynar wire anymore. We're going to go something a little bit like this. And I'm going to say that's about right, I think. I'm going to go for that. And hopefully it'll work. This is a awkward, it's an awkward thing to film this because it's not quite electronic-y. You don't want it zoomed in all the way and you don't want it zoomed all the way out. I'm not even sure what the camera will focus on half the time. But we will persevere. So I think Percival will fit there, and we're going to do the same for this. They left this awfully short. Awfully short. There we go. That was a good job, that is. Good job. That's a proper job, that is. Go. Where's our other end? Let me fetch up our other end. Yeah, that's actually not a bad length as it is. I think I'll just keep it like that. So it did pull out, and the reason it pulled out when I was flexing it was that this wasn't any adequate strain relief. So I'm just going to make it. I'm going to put that down to me jamming it all in with all of that excess wire. So I'm just going to tin the ends of my old soldering iron to make my job more proper. Try not to damage the powder coat. Get off. Oh, it's embedded itself in the powder coat. Get off there. Bloody thing. The live, and that's the neutrale, all done. The live and the neutrale. So these contacts are a bit on the old pantsy side. I'd almost be better off just soldering it straight onto these. Can you guess what my children have been watching? That's right, let's pretend. Get in there. This is what puts most people off these bloody jobs, though, isn't it? It's like, you know, you start them and you kind of regret starting them. You're like, oh god, look at this. All this fiddling. There you go. I don't think that's coming out. Or at least if it comes out, it'll be because this fitting has broken. Stripped itself. Because I cranked it in. Crank. Wasn't there a movie called Crank? Got any crank? £1/2 of the crankies, please. What sort of drug would come in £1/2 bags? A lot of it. A lot of crank. £1/2 bag. Right, so that's as good as you're going to get that end. So the downside though with this, is, of course, is that if you pulled it and the two ends came apart, if you think about it, how it was before, at least you'd have a continuous neutral, but now you could have two sparky ends. If you imagine, if you pull that out, you'd have two ends, whereas before the neutral was like right through. So I don't know, it seems almost slightly less safe. I guess that's why we've got RCDs and MCBs. Oh look, that's how pants it is. That one does have a strip thread, so I'm going to have to sort that. He over-cranked it. Has it really got a strip thread then? It would appear so. Oh no, or even the gubbins has fallen off. The switch of doom is proving to live up to its name. But I've got an interesting solution. Let's see if this interesting solution works, because it is a bit novel and not the recommended one by the manufacturer. This thing's determined to pop out. Stay down. Get down and stay down. Get in there. Right. Oh look. Even that's coming out. It's shitty. It is shockingly shitty. Crikey. That is a piece of crap. I don't even think I can continue with this. I don't think it's worth continuing, but let's just do the experiment part. Let's go into the experimental portion of this video. So my experimental portion will be, let's just see if we can solder these straight on and then do away with all of that malarkey. So I'm touching it on the whole screw here. Yeah, I think we will be able to solder it on. That is if I can do it without melting all that plastic first. So just getting myself all organised here. It's weird when you're putting a wire in from right to left. It's just the wrong way. Look at that. I'll zoom in on that. Don't worry if you can't see it right now. There'll be a few more of them coming up. Let's zoom in. Let's do that again. Let's do that little trick again. That was nice. You have to have some keen little vandals who are going to pull all this apart now. Ah. No! Now, you might be saying, why did he shout no? Well, the reason he shouted no is that he had this amazingly hot thing that was just about to land on his knee. And you can see from it that the solder was so molten, it kind of jumped off. You can see the solders fell off as a massive blob. That would have stung. Let's try again, shall we? My poor back office board. Take the heat. Take it all. Take it all to Hades. Come on, come on. There we go. Come on, fella. Come on, little fella. Come on, Skip. Now I just have to hold it here for 2 years, waiting for that to bloody cool down. Yeah, that's okay. That's looking pretty good. I'm going to do the same on all of these. Let's just go for it. Go for it. I see no negative reason doing this at all. More. All the solder. They call him Flipper. Flipper. I think that'll do. Dee 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 under the sea. Flipper, of course, being the dolphin version, the water version of Skippy, I think. There's a lot of shows like that, don't there? There's a voice keeps on calling me. Bugger. Down the road is where I'll always be. Every stop I make. No, it would be take, wouldn't it? Every stop I take, I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm home again. Something like that. Maybe tomorrow I'm gonna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Yeah, that's hobo style, bitch. And if you want to join me for a while. Right. Now that is the ultimate solution. Soldered in. Soldered in like a... It's a real ghetto fix. But I love ghetto. In the ghetto. In the ghetto. Ow. Do 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 in the ghetto. This has got to work now, hasn't it? It just has to work. How the hell can a 2-minute job take a million minutes? I can tell you how. From buying cheap. I should have paid 60p instead of 50p. Still. These would be good for low voltage stuff though. I mean, you could definitely not worry about it for low voltage. Does it actually say... No, it does say 240 volts, 2 amps. Just checking. Did I actually unplug this? Yes, I did. Right. The moment of truth. 3, 2, 1. Contact. Yes. Yay! And it's good. He saw what he had done and it was good. Good enough to be put back into service. Booyah! Thank you for watching. Bye!